Davie Irons, great to see you back, Davie. Very well welcome back to Gallowbank. As a neutral tonight, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Do some guest commentary for tonight's clash with Stenhousemuir, again twice in a week. Also, you're no stranger at the club after playing and managing here from 97 to 2002.
Aye,
fond memories?
Aye, absolutely. It's kind of tinged with a wee bit of sadness, to be honest, Peter. When I come back, I think of Jimmy Hannay, I think of Stan Leslie, I think of Graham Potter. 3 lads that were boys
Massive,
that are no longer here, and I think certainly recently losing Jimmy Hannay, I just feel I'd like to mention Jimmy. I think we all held him in such high regard, you know, and it's really sad, but I mean, it's always great to come back to Gallowbank, but as I say, it's always tinged with a wee bit of sadness when I think of these lads, but you know, we'll never forget them, and I know Stan and Jimmy and Graham were a big part of the time that I was at the club. You know, they put a lot into getting Annan to win a couple of East of Scotland championships.
Huge figures and
all. They were big characters, and you know, it was good times, and you know, it's something that I'll always remember, and certainly I'll always remember these 3 lads. So just felt I needed to say that when it came down. So.
So you had a lot of boys progress through, obviously with Ryan McGuffey and Colin Bennell when you were there.
Ryan and Colin were, you know, it was great to see them. I mean, can you imagine boys going to an English Premiership club from a East of Scotland league? You know, I remember Cammy was just a wee boy. I remember he used to come with your dad and stuff, you know, and it's
still going with that baby fat, right, you know?
But I think what that's said at the time, Peter, and I don't think it's changed. There's talent locally, you know, and that's something I used to beat the drum about. Give these boys a bit of recognition. I remember speaking to Queens about Colin and Ryan, and I was like, nah. And then Bobby Robson thinks they're good enough. So I know football's about opinions, but you know, I think it's always good to see local boys performing at a good level, and that's the one thing Annan always had, and they always continue to have, was that local connection.
Definitely. You obviously had a stellar playing career yourself, Davie, playing over 500 times senior.
Is that a beer? Stellar.
I can do it, man. Obviously with Dunfermline, Partick Thistle, St Johnstone, name a few. Obviously you played 3 in Kello as well. There's a little bit of a timeline of your career, if you don't mind, Davie.
Aye, it's I think I had more comebacks than Frank Sinatra. Started at Queens, left Queens to go to uni, early 80s, and then left uni, finished uni and signed with Ayr. And that was probably, went from Ayr United to Clydebank. You're no longer in existence, well, senior level. They were in the Premier League at the time.
Gordon Moffat, the manager.
Gordon's now, it's good to see them back, and you know, they've got into a level again, which is good to see, and another local boy, yeah. Then I got my move to Dunfermline, Partick Thistle, St Johnstone, and then kind of started in the downward slope to
back up to Annan,
and back to Clydebank, and then I retired because I had a job at the SFA, but my circumstances changed at home, and got a job at the local college in Dumfries, and then Annan, an opportunity to play football with Annan. I came down, I was only here maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and Tony Chilton, a name from the past, he was a manager, and like all good managers happen, they get sacked. And Annan asked me if I'd take over, and you know, and from that moment on, it was a really good, great 3-4 years with the club. To say, we won a couple of championships in the East of Scotland, we qualified for the Scottish Cup, and it was brilliant. And then the local rivals came calling when they got into the league, Gretna, and then had 8 amazing years. I think everybody knows the Gretna story. That obviously came to an end, which was a benefit for Annan, because Annan got the opportunity to take Gretna's place, and so I think it was really important that we had a club in this part of the world. Definitely. You know, to remain in the senior setup. So it was great to see Annan getting back into the league. That coincided with we managed at Morton for a spell, and then I changed jobs again, joined the boys in blue, and I managed to combine that with a period at Stenhousemuir, so I enjoyed that. I left again for personal reasons, but then went back to Stenhousemuir, and that ended a week today. Ironically enough, and it's like I've gone full circle. Started at Annan, finished at Annan. So.
I've got a wee little known fact people might not know. At the ripe age of 48, when you were come off the bench at Scottish Cup for Threave. You were the oldest player at the time to play in the Scottish Cup. Oh, so you just love playing, Davie? Just
Peter,
naturally
I
love the
think
game.
I'd probably hold this. It's just a random fact that probably nobody knows. That game for Threave Rovers against Dennismuir in the Scottish Cup, I played for. You're right, I played for Threave, but it was a draw, 2-2. So we replay it down at Castle Douglas. 12 weeks later, because of it was that bad winter with the really bad snow. 12 weeks later, I am managing Stenhousemuir against Threave in the replay.
You're joking.
So that's something. I don't think that'll never be beaten, that fact. So I was quite ironic. So you can imagine the welcome I got at Castle Douglas that night. So good times.
Just the football runs obviously through the veins, Davie. Also runs right through the family as well.
Oh gosh,
Your son Lewis is who was at Motherwell on the media side and now linked up with the Scottish national team in the media. And also your nephew Aaron Muirhead, who everyone will know here from time and athletics. So do you think you've got a big influence, obviously?
Well, certainly I don't think my kids had any choice but to. I'll have to mention my daughter as well. She's a professional presenter.
Sorry,
Amy's on the telly, so in fact she asked for the login for tonight so she could give me a critique on my performance. So I think Lewis obviously is working with his national team and he's thoroughly enjoying it. And my youngest, he's a Motherwell fan because of Lewis.
Yeah.
And as I say, and Amy's obviously on the telly and doing a lot of. She was at Aberdeen on Sunday doing the cup game there, so she's. I don't know if it's something they're going to thank me for years later, but they're all involved in the game, so it's nice. And I'm just hoping they can be my pension and let me retire in a few years.
Just touching on your managerial career, Davie. You've had some great jobs, obviously. Which have you enjoyed the most? Which did you enjoy the most as a manager?
I think you always enjoy the good times. You've played yourself, Peter, and Cammy obviously played at a really high level, so you always enjoy the good times. But at the same time, I think you learn more from the difficult times. The Gretna was a roller coaster. At the start, it was just a local part-time club, and then we went through the roof. Cup finals, Europe, all that kind of stuff, and then bang, bottom fell out of it. And then when you move to other clubs, you see, again, you just gain experiences. Morton was a difficult club, although I enjoyed my time there. It was a difficult club to work in terms of the internal politics, and the chairman was very much wanted to know everything, wanted to pick the team, and when you stand up to people like that, relationships can crumble a wee bit. So that ended like most managers do, and I thought that might have been my time, but again, another opportunity at Stenhousemuir, and first time round I really enjoyed it, really enjoyed that time, and we weren't just that close to getting a playoff for what is now Championship, so that was good. And then I dropped out of the game for professional work reasons, and then I got back into Stenhousemuir about 18 months ago, and again it was from a call out of the blue. They were desperate, they were struggling, bottom League 2, and they were really worried about dropping out of the league, so I went in and we managed to stay up, albeit the league was cut short, but we were safe at that point, and I thought I'd get the opportunity to try and build a team and kick on. Again, this season's been curtailed with all sorts of COVID reasons and stuff, and I thought it was difficult to judge anybody on this season. However, the club decided, just as I said earlier, a week or so ago, that they felt they needed a change. So
should we get into that just slightly? What happened, Davie, without going into too much detail?
Well, as I say, I think maybe I set my own, I was causing my own downfall. I did try to get the team into the playoff positions, which leading into the last game, or the second last game before the kind of split happened, with Stranraer away, and if we'd won that night, we'd have been level with Stranraer, and then we'd have to come to Annan, and that could have been a make or break for us, but we lost at Stranraer. And on the Thursday night and on the Saturday morning I got a phone call to say, would you like to come and meet the chairman? So I knew I wasn't going for a cup of coffee, so it's like, it's the writing was on the wall at that point. I knew what I was driving up to, so it was disappointment. As far as I'm concerned, I just felt it was difficult. I thought it was unfair to get judged on what was, we'd played 5 games in 10 days, we're dealing with players can't play because they've got COVID, we've got clubs saying they can't play, your loan players, and it'll be exactly the same. It's been such a disjointed season, but it's probably better finishing as quickly as possible, and we can all regroup and start again. So yeah, I'm disappointed, Peter, but obviously things, you just got to move on, you know, and hopefully when the one door closes another one might open.
That's what I was going to say. What's next? You want to stay in the game, eh?
I'd like to, but it's one of those, you know, you just have to wait on the opportunities coming along. You know, I'm local, you know, I've done a lot of travelling over the years, not as much as Cammy obviously, but I am open to offers. You know, it's one of those jobs that you never say never. You know, if something came along and it was something that I felt, yeah, why not? He's mentioned I've been the oldest player in the Scottish Cup. I'll end up hopefully be the oldest manager in Scottish football at one point, but no, I'll see what happens, Peter. But as I say, it's just really nice to be back and amongst old friends, familiar faces. So I'm looking forward to the game tonight.
Great. Pleasure speaking to you, Davie.
Thanks very much.
Hope you get back into football as soon as possible. Thanks for helping us out tonight.
No, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.